Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 3DO Experience, the 3DO retrospective podcast, where we talk about all things 3DO, the company, the console, and everything in between. I am Bill, and this is Thrak. How you doing, Thrak?
Oh, Bill, I'm doing dandy, I guess. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm mentally a little better. Went on a vacation. Just got back.
I saw
Needed
that.
it. Yeah, went up to the Catskills in New York State, which was fun.
It was
Um,
good. It's good.
got to do those pedal cart things where you're on like the train tracks and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, it was like we were like going like super hard, and like we were catching up to the people in front of us. So I'm like, oh, we got to slow down now.
No, you bump them and say, "Get the fuck moving! Come on."
They they had like infants with them. I wasn't gonna bump
That
them.
no excuse.
Uh,
Fucking pedal. Come on. I got
there,
places to be.
there was like one family that legit had like 20 kids, and it was like the most horrifying thing possible. Like,
20 kids. Were
oh,
they
it's
Mormon?
I think it was like three families, but they were all like the same family. But there was like literally like
So it's like a
20.
weird polycule. You discovered one.
Either that or it was like a bunch of cousins or something. But like, my God, um,
That that doesn't change. It could just be a weird polycule.
either way, like we were there, and like Alex was like slowly getting more and more annoyed, just like the whole time. Oh,
Whatever, man. That some people choose to live a life like that, I guess. Like most people have like 0 to like 3 kids, and that's about normal, you know? And then when you hit 4, I'd say 4 is like your limit of like normal. After 4, it's like, what are you doing? This is just your life. Your life is just pumping out babies for some reason.
yeah,
And the people that do it are always like the weirdest fucking people. You know,
yeah,
it's like white people who are just like, you can tell they're just really fucked up in the head, you know? It's usually what it is.
yeah.
It's weird. It's very weird.
That was the thing. We also went to the Angry Orchard, for a tour of the facility, which was not the main production facility, but it was the, as the guy doing the tour said, the pretty one, as in the one that they
Yeah,
like the,
it's the tourist trap one. Yeah, like
yeah.
when I was in Hawaii and went to the Dole Whip factory.
Mm.
Like the factory was across the street, but we went to like the tourist trappy place where it's like, oh, you can get on the cart and ride through like a pineapple field and all this other shit. Or you go in and then there's like all this like merchandise and you can buy food. And I had the Dole Whip with fresh pineapple in it,
Mm.
which was really good. I'm not a pineapple guy, but getting it straight from the source, it was pretty good. I won't lie. I did consider buying a Dole hoodie for $60, but I didn't do it. I
I got
considered it.
a, I
I
have
thought about it.
I did get an Angry Orchard shirt, but I don't really drink Angry Orchard, so
Yeah. Does wearing it
it,
make you do drinking them make you angry?
no, I did try the samples we got on the tour. One of them was like this really dry, like cider. It was actually
Yeah.
pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. The
A-
other
ang-
one was like this pumpkin thing, and I was not into that.
See, Angry Orchard cider is one of the few alcoholic beverages I've had that I like actually enjoy.
They're a little too sweet for my tastes. I did like the dry one though. It was like very. It was kind of like, it wasn't bitter, but it was like kind of like a half and half kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I just I it has to be sweet for me to enjoy it. Otherwise, I just really don't like it.
That's fair.
So yeah, I had an alcoholic beverage uh when I was in Hawaii. We went to this very specific restaurant. I forget the name of the drink off the top of my head, but my sister and brother-in-law were like, "Oh, this shit's really good. You gotta try one." I tried one. I fucking hated it. It was like sour.
Oh, yeah,
Didn't enjoy it at
sours.
all. They love it, so they saw I wasn't drinking, and I was just like, "I don't like this. This isn't for me." And they're like, and I gave it to them, and they drank it. So good for
Yeah.
them.
Uh,
I've had worse, but it's up there.
See, I'm one of those crazy guys who will go to like the liquor store and pick something random and have one drink and be like, "This is disgusting," but I paid for it, so I have to finish it.
I'm the guy who doesn't go to a liquor store.
That's fair.
I'll
That
drink
is
my I'll drink my Members Mark carbonated mineral water instead.
nice.
I enjoy this more, and yet people think I'm weird.
It's all right. I drink this like local soda chain that makes no sense because it's like this entire bottle's 15 calories. I don't understand it.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, they have a fucking cream soda that's like I don't understand how it's only like 15 calories. It's that addicting.
See, I don't understand how like regular soda has calories, but then like diet or zero sugar soda doesn't.
Yeah, I don't
That
like
I don't
that.
unless the calories are purely in the sugar.
Might be it. I
I
don't know.
guess. I don't know. But I don't really drink regular soda that much. I usually go for the zero sugar if I can.
I only do if I
I'm
go
sure
out.
it's worse for me and the chemicals are probably killing me on the inside, but hey, whatever. We're all gonna die someday.
Yeah.
Might as well enjoy it.
Uh, other than that,
Um
though, pretty mellow news week. As we were,
I spent the week playing Power Wash Simulator 2. I'm sure some of our viewers know that I'm a big fan of Power Wash Simulator 1. And yes, I bought Power Wash 2 day of release, of course. I'm already like 30 hours into it because I can't be stopped. And it's really, really good.
nice.
It's Power Wash 1 again, pretty much, but there are noticeable improvements, which at first I was like, what can you improve on a perfect video game? But there were things. Well, for one, they completely redid the art style and the graphics. Like the original game was very much like playing with like Unreal assets or whatever engine it was in. Just it felt like it was just flipping default assets. Here it felt like they redrew everything, redesigned it to have a little bit more of a cartoony, identifiable look, but it still fits with the first game. You know,
Yeah.
um, but like the controls, like it feels a lot better to play. It doesn't feel nearly as stiff. The buttons have been completely remapped in a way that I think logically makes a lot more sense. I'm still getting used to them just because I'm so used to how the original is, but you do have an option to go back to the classic if you want. Soap has been completely revamped. So instead of having like 6 different soaps for just like individual specific surfaces, they just give you one thing of soap that it refills every job. It might recharge as the job goes on, I think, as well. So for certain things that are a little tougher to get out, you can just put a bunch of soap on it and then you can just spray it right off. So it sounds like it's a easy mode, but certain levels it's harder to do that with. Like some of the smaller like vehicles, you can spray the whole thing with soap and just clean it off and you'll be done in like 10 minutes. But for some of the bigger areas, it doesn't make it easier. You still have to clean shit off. You know what I mean? Um, and if you're missing, this is probably the best fix, is that whatever little things you're missing before it would give you the list of like the last 3 things, it still does that. But now there's a little icon on screen that pops up to be like, oh, it's over here. Here's what you're missing. So instead of having to go in and highlight it, in fact, I think once you get to 90%, it just starts highlighting things that you haven't cleaned yet, which is really nice. Actually, it helps keep the process moving along without having to fumble with menus and all that stuff. They've redone the menus. They've redone how you like buy stuff. There's a headquarters where you'll just occasionally get furniture and you can just kind of place it around if you want. Doesn't really matter one way or the other. There are 3 cats that you can pet. Sometimes they join you on the jobs and sometimes they don't. Sure, why not?
Cats. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they're named Bubbles, Ulysses, and crap, I forget the third one. But yeah, they're cute little guys, and you can pet them for an easy achievement. So, and they got rid of the challenge mode because I don't
Ah,
think anybody liked it in the first game. So it's the one achievement I don't have in the first game is getting 5 challenge medals. Getting one was enough of a pain in the ass. I'm not doing it 4 more times.
yeah.
So fuck that. So they got rid of those completely here. So yeah, it's great. It's more Power Wash. It's on Game Pass, but I just went ahead and bought it. It was only $25. So,
Nice.
and they said they're gonna support it with DLC up through next year till like 2026. So I mean, they could go beyond because Power Wash 1 I think had bigger legs than they expected. It's possible 2 could have the same, but I'll be there for all the DLCs. I'm hoping it's going to be the same thing as before, where it's a mixture of like free ones and paid ones, like the paid crossover collaborations that they probably have planned and then like more free like Muckingham Files kind of stuff. Because I liked how they did it in the first game. With,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, if you just want some free editions, here you go. But like the crossover ones, well, we have to charge you because it's more for them than it is for us. But credit to Future Lab because they were able to publish this one as well as develop it. So they must have got a lot of money from the first game
Yeah.
to self-publish. So good for them. And that's part of why I supported it. To support your local indie dev, folks.
Nice.
That's really the bulk of what I've been playing this week.
That's fair. I have not played anything because vacation. I went to the movies yesterday. That was about it.
I'm in my like last week of work for this like contract job, and there's like nothing to do. So I've just been spending my days watching movies.
Nice.
Like I'll watch like 2 movies a day at work. It's great. So yeah.
Yeah. We went to me and Alex went to go see the Chainsaw Man movie yesterday.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It was funny because we're like standing.
I don't know anything about Chainsaw Man other than that there's a dog with a chainsaw that comes out of his head. And people fucking love it. That's all I know.
It's interesting. That's the best way to put it.
Sure. I won't deny that.
It's very hard to explain. That's what I'll say. But
well, funny. It's like any anime. You could just say, yeah, bullshit happens and people love it. And I go, okay. Yeah. Sounds about right.
But with what was funny is we went to the Regal at MGM and the casino. We're in there waiting, and it's like we're like 10 minutes before the film starts, and there's like nobody there to like scan our tickets, and we're just like looking around, and we just kind of like looked over at the person behind the concession stand. We just kind of asked her like, "There's nobody here," and he's like, "Oh, give me a minute." So he walks out back, and he comes back in, and like this lady just pops her head out and goes, "Oh, you guys are good. Just walk in." We're just like, okay.
You've never done that? You never just like if nobody's there, you're just like, fuck it. We have the ticket, so if they get mad, they'll be like, here it is.
No, we were trying
it's not your fault they aren't there.
It was just super funny. We were like, oh, so we could have just walked right in.
Yeah, I've done that before. Where you buy the ticket and then there's no ticket person, so you just walk by and you're just like, and it's like, hey, if they say anything, we'll just show them the ticket.
Yeah.
Many years ago, a buddy of mine worked at a movie theater, and so me and him used to just because he'd get free movies, like him and somebody else. So usually at the end of his shift, me and him would watch like a movie or two at night. That was great. Sometimes we get the theater room all to ourselves, which was great because then we could just be stupid, annoying shits. And then I'd get like free popcorn because at the end of the night, they would just take all the popcorn that they had left because they just pop a shit ton of it throughout the day and just put it in these giant bags. You know, because it was just going to get thrown out. So a lot of times people would just fill trash bags with it. And and there was one time where I literally took like the large one and just like shoveled it in. And it was like near the end of the day. So they're like, don't worry about it. It's already canned out. So
it's going to get thrown away anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So you get it for free. I mean, back in the McDonald's days, that's what I do. If there was like some chicken nuggets left when we closed, I would just eat them while I was closing up.
It's like Dunkin' Donuts, like working night shift. Like they just give you free shit all the time because they were just throwing it away.
Because that food's gonna get thrown out. It's like you might as well just take it. Yeah, yeah, might as well. So
we did have a private theater though. There was legit nobody else there. Another like
awesome.
a couple.
That's always the best time.
A couple showed up halfway through the movie, and then they left before it was even over. And we were like, okay.
I think they just waltzed in, not knowing what it was.
Yeah,
they're like, "Is this a Leatherface movie?"
Well, it was great because like the girlfriend in that couple like doused herself in perfume during the film. Alex almost gagged like halfway through it, and then they left, and Alex was just looked at me. She's like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I don't know. Don't think about it too much. You'll hurt yourself.
That was our movie experience.
Oh well. So, but yeah, speaking of that, not a lot of news. I mean, it's kind of it is kind of slow. But let's see. This one, I think I mentioned this to you guys like a different time, but I thought this was really interesting, and it was that Scarface The World Is Yours remaster.
Oh yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Scarface The World Is Yours is a game released on the PS2 and the Xbox and the Wii back in 2006. It was a weird 3 selection of consoles. That's meant to be sort of a like kind of a what if on Scarface, where it takes place. I think the first mission is like the end of the movie, when he
Yeah.
goes on the rampage, and spoilers for Scarface. He gets shot in the back and then dies, right?
Mhm.
But in the game, it kind of does the what if where it's like, oh, you see that the guy's coming and you can stop him and then take everybody out, and then the game just is like a quasi sequel of him being like, what the fuck's going on, and him
Mhm.
trying to like in a GTA style like string everything back together. It is a pretty cool game for its time. I know some people
Radical
really
made that, I
enjoyed it.
believe.
Yes, they
Yep.
did. They had some experience with these open world style games. So yeah, and so out of the blue, I think it was like on the 22nd of October, an HD remaster of this game popped on like Epic Games Store, and I think it was meant to be on Steam as well. The Steam page, I believe, is still up, but of course you can't claim it or anything. You can't buy it or anything. They were selling it for $30, and they're touting as like an HD remaster kind of a thing with like optional HD graphics updates and all this other stuff. But what people found was it was using like weird AI technology to do the graphic upgrade, which is a lot more common these days than you'd think, especially with
Yeah.
certain remasters. I think the new Plants vs. Zombies has a bit of that in it as well. But it was also using some of the mods that have been made for the PC version of this game so that it'll even run. I think the big one is the silent patch, which you have to install in order to actually run the game properly because it just doesn't work on Windows 10 or 11 machines.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so some people found out about that and were like, "Oh, that's not good." And in fact, I think one of the modders actually said online that they're not sure how these people got the rights to it because because NBC Universal owns Scarface,
Mhm.
and they said, "quote I know that the holder of the Scarface license wasn't willing to re-release this game, so this is suspect." And you would think something like this they would want to do a teeny bit of marketing for if they were willing to do it, right? Like throw a trailer on YouTube and be like, "Oh, we're re-releasing this, 2006, cult classic or whatever," right? So, yeah, so
Yeah,
the whole thing seemed really suspect,
because
right?
the rights to this game are probably somewhere in, or at least the source code is probably somewhere in Activision at the moment.
Yeah, or yeah. So in a weird backhanded way, this game is probably joint owned by Microsoft and NBC Universal. Two
Yeah.
two two great companies these days, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, so people found out about that real quick, and then not long after this got taken down because some people bought it on the Epic Games Store
Hmm.
because that's where it was, and then that's how they found out what they found out about it. Um, but you can't get it there anymore. So my guess is probably NBC Universal found out about it or somebody let them know, and then they called the publisher and said, "Hey, what the fuck is this?" and promptly took it down. As far as I know, there hasn't been any updates. The only update I have is from the game's publisher. What was their name? EC Digital.
Hmm.
Great name, right? They said saying that it has entered urgent discussions with multiple parties concerning the project's status. After careful consideration, we believe that temporarily hiding the store page is the most appropriate step forward, and we've already begun coordinating with Valve to make that happen shortly. The current page was initially intended as a placeholder while we worked through ongoing licensing and technical matters. Unfortunately, the unintended release of certain builds on other platforms caused unexpected complications and concerns. Because of that, we feel it's necessary to pause and reevaluate. Now, that wouldn't surprise me,
Hmm.
but also at the same time, it kind of reeks of they probably didn't get the rights to this.
Yeah, this is, it kind of reads like them being like, "Oh darn, we got caught."
Whoopsie. So they're trying to fix it, whatever that means, fixing
Yeah.
it. So,
I didn't think people would care about this obscure license game from the early mid 2000s.
bro, do you look at the fucking internet?
I know,
I've
right?
said this. I've said this before. Like any game released in the last like 40 fucking years that has like a 6 to like a 7 rating out of a 10. There's at least one YouTube video on it about how it's like a cult classic gem that people didn't appreciate back then, and now in our current AAA gaming landscape, this game looks so much better. All that
Yeah.
normal shit about how all games suck now, and the only good games are back when I was a kid. And it's like, do you see the pattern here?
Yeah.
Anyways, I just thought that was interesting, and it made me want to like actually play this game because
Yeah.
I've never played it. But I haven't had the time to like pop in on an emulator and give it a try. So hopefully I'll do that soon, but I'm busy. Let's see. Oh yeah, this one was fucking weird. Ubisoft is asking staff at the Division studio, Massive Entertainment, to volunteer to be laid off.
So furlough them. Or no, or just straight up lay off.
So yes, well, it's part of like Ubisoft's like restructuring, where it's like people are thinking they're going to be privately owned, but they're not yet. I don't think they are, unless those talks have died down because like EA got that. So maybe it was the people who were looking to buy Ubisoft would just went ahead and bought EA instead. I don't know. I don't have the details on that one. But apparently, Massive Entertainment has said it planned to strengthen its focus on the Division series and the Snowdrop engine, and that as a result, it was reducing its numbers. The studio is asking staff to volunteer for career transition, presumably an attempt to identify who's willing to be laid off before it has to potentially start its own procedure. As part of our ongoing evolution and long-term planning, we have recently realigned our teams and resources to strengthen our roadmap, ensuring our continued focus on the Division franchise and the technologies, including Snowdrop, Ubisoft Connects. To support this transition responsibly, we've introduced a voluntary career transition program, giving eligible team members the opportunity to take their next career step on their own terms, supported by a comprehensive package that includes financial and career assistance. So basically they're saying like, hey, we're probably going to lay you off, but if you just want to do it now, like we'll give you a compensation package.
That's less shitty than a lot. Surprisingly, from Ubisoft, that is less shitty than a lot of companies have been lately.
From what I know, if a company like lays you off and you've been there for a long time, I believe it's they either have to offer you some form of like a compensation package, or you can just file for unemployment. And I think if you, again, I'm not 100% on this. I think if you file for unemployment after getting fired, like from a long-term company, I think the company pays for it. I think. Yeah. Again, I'm not clear on the details, so it's like either way they have to pay you. So yeah, so like. My guess is when Microsoft laid all those people off, they probably offered them, especially to like, the kind of higher up, long tenured people, because I think legally you have to. So
yeah,
but yeah, it's worded in a very weird way that looks really dumb. And again, it's just kind of further pushing how they're probably just going to be trying to use more generative AI to sort of replace workers. And I think this as well as I do. This whole AI bubble is going to burst. It's going to blow up in all of these companies' faces. And when it happens, they're not going to be prepared for it.
No.
Because they want this to be the future, so they don't have to pay people. They can just have machines do everything for free. But then when they realize that's not really going to work, they're going to try to get people back, but people are probably just going to be like, no, fuck you. I don't trust you. And then they're not going to come back to work.
I think we're going to see a rise in indie studios more so than we already have.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure indie studios keep popping up all the fucking time. But like, that's another issue with the industry is that there's so many indies and so many indie studios and so many indie games that it's near impossible for your game to break out. I mean, sometimes they do, but there are like kind of bigger publishers, like say like a Devolver or whatever, who will help. Right? Like they're like, I think some people maybe that should be more of the future. Some of these more like indie publishers can kind of like, help guide some of these studios, because otherwise you're just going to get lost in the shuffle. You know, unless you just get lucky on Steam, which is always possible.
Yeah,
but there's no guarantee of that, and you can't rely on that.
not every studio can put out a Balatro or like a Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah, or Ball X Pit,
All XP.
which I believe Devolver published that.
Or Peak. Peak's another one.
Yeah, Peak. Well, I think Peak was self-published. So,
True. True.
but also the team that did that, Aggro Crag, like people already knew who they were.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's tough out there. So and seeing Ubisoft do this, and then what we know with EA, it's like it's not helping.
No.
So, and let's see here. Oh yeah, did you see Sonic Rumble finally has a release date?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I saw it, I
Forgot
was
about
like,
it.
I was like,
Forgot it.
Sonic Rumble, what the fuck is that? And it's like a 32 player online party platformery thing, I guess. It's PC and mobile. I don't really know anything about this game, but it's coming out on May the 8th of next year. No. No, it's coming out November 5th. So next week.
Chibi Shadow looks goofy as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it though.
I do.
I mean,
It's super cute, but it's super funny. You seeing like this
or
weird
like Chibi Big the cat.
yeah. It's just funny because like Sonic's like almost like a hybrid between modern and classic.
Yeah, I actually like the blending of the two. But yeah, it's like some like 32 player battle royale thing. Yeah, it says PC and mobile, but as far as I know, it doesn't have a Steam page. So if you want to play it,
is that the Angry Birds studio that's making it? Yeah.
Oh no, it is on. Oh, it's on Steam. Never mind. Oh, Rovio's making it.
Yeah, well, it's Rovio, Sega, and Sonic Team, which leads me to believe Rovio's doing the majority, and Sonic Team's sitting there going, "Do that." Yes,
we just made a racing game. We're done.
It's just Izuka sitting there going, "Add more boost pads."
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably going to be a piece of shit game. So
I don't know.
We'll see what people say about it. I don't have high hopes for this guy. Apparently, it's free to play. So, and yeah, it has a Steam page. You know what? I might just fucking download it and see what the hell it is. If it's free to play, what do I have to lose?
I mean, if it's shit but fun to play multiplayer, I mean, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'll get Jelly to play this with us. Who knows? So, let's see. Oh yeah. The other big thing that happened is that Halo Combat Evolved remake. I called it. Here it is. So yeah, it's a thing. It's what I had heard it was going to be, which is just Halo 1 redone in Unreal Engine 5, like a nice remake, because with Halo Studios now switching over to Unreal, they used the first Halo game to kind of test Unreal and be sure that they're good with it, and that's an easy one to do. And then throw it out there for people to play, and it's like
an all-time classic. I mean, it's worth.
Yeah, it's coming out next year. It's for the 25th anniversary of Xbox, so it all kind of lines up. It's coming to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 5 next year. And I know some people freaked out over the PS5 thing, which I think every time it happens now, I'm like, guys, you act like this just happened. Like, Xbox has been doing this for a while. We all knew it was going to happen. Like,
the big announcement I saw was
shocker. Who cares?
One of the higher ups basically flat out said all future Halos are going to be on PlayStation going forward.
I mean, I figured that
makes sense.
I mean, that's the direction Microsoft is going in.
I just thought it was so funny, like all this announcement. It brought me back to like the early 2000s with all those like rumors about Halo coming to PS2.
I mean, there was I think it was like Gears 3 had a PS3 port in the works for a while. And then that got canceled. So it's not like they haven't toyed with this before in the past.
See, this brought me back to like early in like high school, like all the rumors about Halo 3 coming to PS3 and like these like hacks you could do to play it on PS3. Just like bullshit that was like
back then PlayStation people needed something good to play. They didn't really have anything.
When did Halo come out?
2007.
7? Well, we had Uncharted.
The first Uncharted is not a good game.
I mean, it was better than most shit on the system at that point.
Sure, but like Uncharted really didn't get going until the second game.
I will say the collection fixed a lot of problems with the first one. I will say.
Yeah, I'll believe that. Yeah. So, but again, it's like it's them just
Oh,
reaffirming what they've been saying for a while now.
we,
It's
we
just that
had
like
we had
we're
Ratchet and Clank.
multi-platforming shit. Like,
That
okay,
was the
cool.
game.
Yeah, yeah, it was always Ratchet, but like, but yeah, they're always. It's just them saying like, yeah, we're just putting shit on everything.
Yeah, the
Like
console
we already
version.
know
Yeah,
what's happening. Like, what's the big deal? Like people, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, because I think Microsoft, they're going to try to have their cake and eat it too with having their own hardware and putting their games everywhere. They're going to try it and see if it works, and we'll see.
the
Who
fact
knows?
that we still have these console fanboys that are like losing their minds leads me to believe that these
Well,
consoles aren't going anywhere.
well, I've said it before, and that's like I'm so tired of hearing the Xbox is dead thing because people brought it up again, and it's like, guys, it's not happening. Okay, it's not.
Oh
It's not Xbox. Like gaming for Microsoft is not going anywhere.
no,
It's not.
it's such a dumb argument too because everyone's like they're gonna go the Sega route. I'm like, well, first off, Microsoft isn't financially in the toilet like Sega was at the time.
No, though, if this whole AI thing does blow up in Microsoft's face, they might be.
Fair.
I will say that, but it won't be because the video games didn't work. You know what I mean?
No.
Like if Microsoft goes to shit as a company, which is possible, it won't be because Xbox didn't work. That's like not going to be the reason why. And
No.
clearly they're setting the company up for that. Like they're not relying on Xbox to be the big thing, like how Sony relies so much on the PlayStation brand to succeed. I know it's not everything, but like if the PlayStation brand failed, what would Sony be? Just a film studio at that point?
Film studio electronics company.
Yeah, I mean they do a lot of music publishing as
They
well.
also have a massive anime department now because they bought
Yeah,
a shit ton of stuff. But
yeah. But even still, like if the PlayStation brand failed, I think Sony's financials would not be great. Whereas if the
no,
Xbox brand went away, it's probably not going to affect Microsoft that much. But again, they've invested so much in games. I just don't see them completely abandoning it. I've said it
no.
before. They're not going to make up that all that money going third party. They're just not.
I mean,
But when they're trying to, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but like I heard that they want the Xbox brand to have a 30% profit margin, which is far and away higher than what Sony or Nintendo want. It's like that's why the prices have gone up on everything. Is because they're like,
yeah,
oh, we need the profit margin to be that high. And it's like, why? You've never wanted it to be that high before now.
yeah.
Like what it's just
Especially when they,
ridiculous.
it's a weird decision, especially when they're struggling to sell systems.
Yeah, I
Don't
just
know.
don't think Microsoft has ever really had a clear vision on what they wanted the Xbox brand to be.
No, I
They
mean
just
it's
don't,
never.
and I feel like they're not letting like Phil and Sarah and Matt Booty and all like the main people. They're not letting them run it.
No,
I feel like honestly, if Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Matt Booty were running like the Xbox brand as like their own thing, it wouldn't be this bad. I really don't think it would be.
no.
Like people are
I mean,
quick to give them shit about it, but I'm like, they have to answer to Satya Nadella. I hope I said his name right, the CEO of Microsoft. Like he has to sign off on everything. So probably a lot of it's coming from him.
yeah. I've
So,
never
but
understood the
whatever.
Phil hate. Phil seems like
Yeah, he's
the only
if
person holding
anybody
it
else was
together.
if anybody else is running Xbox, I feel like it'd be worse. Genuinely, I do.
Well, there's a reason why Peter Moore said "fuck it" and left.
Yeah. So
He was like, I can't deal with this shit anymore.
yeah, but like it's weird, it's dumb. I get it. But I'm not gonna be that guy on Reddit saying, "Oh, I'm selling my Xbox" because the whole thing, and I'm like,
Why?
well, people who do that, you can tell the only reason they bought their system was just to mess around with Game Pass or whatever. They weren't people who were like they're just trying to get like attention on Reddit, basically. So
Yeah.
whatever. Again, I'm gonna use my Series X until it fucking dies. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't really have the money to invest in another console and another ecosystem. And and if I had that money, I'd probably be better off just finding a way to get more into PC gaming because then I can take my existing Xbox library and transition it over.
Mhm.
It wouldn't be 1-to-1, but it'd be a lot better with the Play Anywhere program. So
Yeah.
I'd rather just go that route. And that's probably the route I'm going to go in the next like 10 years anyway. Like get one of those handheld PC things, find a way to integrate a good chunk of my Xbox library on it, and then just be a PC guy. That's just probably where I'm going to be going. So
I don't plan on
and
buying
then I'll
another
have a
console.
Switch until Nintendo, and I'll have a Switch until Nintendo decides to port their shit to PC.
That'll be the day. That'll truly be the day the internet fucking implodes, and I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Well, that would be crazy. That's like the one thing in gaming I think would be actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe this is happening. But I'm just not going to rule it out because you never know. Crazier things have happened, right?
All I'll say is final note on Halo. That pistol better be broken as fuck, because if it's not, I'm gonna be pissed. They ruined the best part of that game.
And there was some controversy about if they're using like AI or not in the game or whatever. And then like, Halo Studios, there's like, oh, we're, using it as like a tool, I think, or something like that, but they're not like replacing people with it. And then people just don't want to believe them because they're dumb. So it's like, I don't know. If it bothers you that much, just don't buy it and don't play it. Like, again, the way some people react to this shit, it's like, you don't have to buy it and play it. You're acting like you're going to be forced to.
I know that.
Play it and you're fine.
That always drove me nuts. They're all like, it's an outrage. I'm like, well, you bought it. They're like, well, yeah, but
yeah, like, whatever. Just when the developer direct happens in January and they show more of Horizon 6 and Fable and all that stuff, that's what I'm interested in. So we'll see. But my last thing I got, I just thought this was really interesting. So do you know the series Battle Arena Toshinden?
I do.
So apparently, Japanese media company IDA, which has been acquiring and licensing classic game IPs, has announced that it has signed a licensing agreement to mark the 30th anniversary of the first Battle Arena Toshinden. And in doing this, they are remastering the first 3 for modern consoles.
Is it bad that I didn't realize it was a series? I thought it was just the first game.
I didn't know either, so don't feel bad.
I remember it being like one of those like early 3D fighters on PlayStation. Like it was a big deal at the time.
Yeah, and so I guess they're doing a trilogy release. Well, just the first 3. I guess there was a 4th one, but they're not bothering to do it. And I guess they just did a press release saying, "Oh, we're going to do this, and it's going to come out between fiscal year 2026 and 2027." And it's like, oh, okay. But why? I don't get why you would announce a port collection like this and not have at the very least like a set release date for it. Because if you do this now, I mean, it's not like Battle Arena Toshinden's a big IP, right? No. So if you do this press release, there's going to be, some of the weirdos like us who are like, oh, cool. When's that coming out? And then you see the time frame and go, oh, I'm probably going to forget by that point. And then they're going to have to do the whole thing again.
Yeah, it's weird because from what I remember, these games are very jank. Like they're not.
Oh yeah, I from what I've seen of them, they look very jank. I've never played one.
What I remember is it was basically like Sony's answer to Virtual Fighter before Tekken became a thing, and then Tekken kind of just took over that niche.
Yeah, it looks like that weird middle ground between Virtual Fighter and Tekken. But also I think it has an emphasis on weapons as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a precursor to Soul Calibur. Looking at the UI though, it reminds me of Star Wars Masters of Terras-Kazi.
Oh, that game is amazing for how shit it is.
Yeah. But the UI looked very similar, and I'm like, is it in the same engine? Maybe. But yeah, that I just saw that and thought that was neat. So yeah, we'll see about that. And then that's really all the news I had. What was it, about 6-7 articles?
Yeah, some minor stuff. The only other thing is we did get new Nintendo music.
Yes, we did. And thanks to Nintendo on Blue Sky, I already know what it is. Mm-hmm. It's new Super Mario Brothers on the DS.
That is an underrated game.
It's fine. Of the new Super Mario Brothers games, Really, the only one I would say is bad or close to bad is the 3DS one.
Yeah, because that one's just pointless.
That was just boring. Yeah, but like the DS one has the novelty of being the first one going for it.
It also had all original boss fights, which was just something that
Yeah.
the Koopalings got boring as fuck after a while.
Yeah, and I always liked this theme. That new Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
That's a very NSMB thing with the weird
and the Koopas
like a
dancing to
choir
it.
being hit on a keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you play New Super Mario Brothers today, I think some people would be surprised at how many like 2D assets are in it.
Oh yeah, it's a
To the
mostly
point
2D
where
game.
I think it may have started development on the Game Boy Advance.
I believe it did because I believe it was originally supposed to be Super Mario Advance 5.
Yeah, it has that look to it for sure. But yeah, like it has the novelty of being the first one, so it kind of gets a pass. And then the Wii one
That's
also
objectively the best one in terms of level design, I'd say.
the level design doesn't get good till like the very end of the game. Other than that, it's just kind of plain, and it's cool to have like 4 people, so you can like it has the co-op and it's on a home console, so it felt like a big deal at the time. I remember, in fact, I played a bunch of it, and then the Wii U one. The further we get from it, and weirdly enough, after Wonder, I have a lot more appreciation for you.
It was pretty. It was a very pretty game.
And if you buy the Switch Deluxe version, there's a lot of content in there. Yes, it's a ridiculous price, but you get your money's worth
Oh yeah,
because you get the whole game of you get Luigi U, and then you get like a bunch of challenges and all this stuff, and it is a very dense package.
oh yeah,
It's one of those Switch games that I'm waiting to find it for like $20 and grab it.
yeah,
But I still even the used market for Switch games isn't the best. So still waiting.
yeah. And then like we said, New Super Mario Brothers 2. The only appeal to that game is if you really like seeing the fucking one up thing go up because of all the fucking coins.
If you really like coins,
Yeah.
like the whole gimmick with the coins says to me they didn't have anything. And they're like, coins or whatever.
That was during that era too.
I know that game has a really good like challenge mode at the end of it after you beat it, but like other than that, like what's the fucking point, man?
All I remember about that game is it came out during that point where like Nintendo was like creatively bankrupt and was like basically just releasing nothing but Mario.
A lot of 2D platformers that were incredibly simplistic and trying to appeal to a younger audience because like they were like the press wasn't really great about them at the time, and they were like, we can still hold on to the kiddie thing. And they tried, but people trying to be nostalgic about this era, it's like, guys, those games weren't all that great. They really weren't. Like it was a rough time for a reason.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do with Nintendo revisionists, right? Where everything was good. No, it wasn't. Shut up.
See, Yoshi's New Island is secretly a hidden gem. No, it's not.
Who the fuck said that?
Oh, I'm sure there's somebody out there.
They're wrong. They are wrong. And I'm a guy who likes Yoshi's Island DS.
Yoshi's Island DS is actually a fun, unique experience. It's not as good as the original.
No, but I like it for what it is.
Yoshi's New Island, that game is the most creatively bankrupt game I've ever seen.
Some of the worst music I've ever heard in any game. It's bad. But New Super Mario Bros. Yeah, go play it. The soundtrack is solid. And if you haven't played it, yeah, go play it. It's a solid time. It's
the Mega Mushroom is fun for like the one level it appears in.
Yeah, and you need the mini mushroom to access the secret worlds. There's a couple secret worlds.
4 and 6, I think.
Yes. Because for some reason they decided to make 2 of the worlds hidden. Why? I don't know. Yeah. You feel with NSMB they were trying to do something a little different. A little bit. But they didn't want to go completely wacky.
It's honestly the only New Super Mario Brothers game where the new I feel like makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely fit. And I remember when this was coming out, I'm sure you do. Like there were commercials for it and people were really excited for it.
Oh yeah, it was hype and it was a fun game for what it
Yeah,
was.
for sure. But I was a DS hater, so I didn't play it till many years later.
Fair
I've
enough.
I've I've told the story before. But yeah, that's really everything. Now we can finally get to I guess this is our Halloween special.
I mean, it's about as on par as last year's Halloween special. So, um,
Well, we're actually talking about a game this time, so
yeah.
not
Um,
just bullshitting about other things and you're trying to be like, guys, you want to talk about horror movies? We're like, who cares?
yeah.
But
So,
no, we have an actual game this time. What's that game, Bill?
Doctor Hauzer, yeah.
Hauser. I don't even know her.
I'd show my copy, but it's Japan only, and I didn't feel like importing a copy for this.
I
Um, it's
think
actually
it's
not.
expensive too.
It's in like the $40 range. It's not the worst, but it's more than I'd want to pay just for the episode. Maybe
Fair
someday if I
enough.
maybe someday if I find it. But yeah, Doctor Hauser. Shout out to our buddy Tony who actually let us know about this one. And I apologize for not inviting you because I'm fucking stupid and forgot to do it.
Well, did you even talk to him about it?
No, I completely forgot. I was having a
So
really
he's probably learning about it now.
yeah. I know. I'm sorry, Tony. You
I
know we
think
love
it's
you,
fine. I think it's fine.
but
If he bitches that much about it, he can, when he comes on a future episode, he can have his little spiel.
yeah. So Doctor Hauser, released in 1994, exclusively on the
Good year.
3DO, only in Japan. Yeah, I wasn't alive.
I
um,
was.
I was almost alive in it, but that's
Well,
besides the
this
point.
came out in April of '94. I was still in gestation. I had about 4 months to go.
Ah, it, honestly, I think I was also in gestation. Now that I think about it, but
Yeah.
so this game was 94, only in Japan. Developed by Riverhillsoft. What a name.
One
Um,
word.
yes. And they are well known for making the JB Herald series.
Yes, which is a series I think we're going to have to touch in the future because I think one of these came to 3DO.
Maybe I'll have to look into that. Um, yes, the Blue Chicago Blues. So we'll have to look into
That's
that.
redundant. But yeah, I think I have it on the list.
Um, and very interestingly enough, I was looking through some of the notable staff that worked on this game. One of the programmers was Akihiro Hino, who would later
Yes.
go on to found Level 5.
Yes, and I believe he is still like the CEO, like the president and CEO
Yep.
of Level 5. So, yeah. Good job, dude.
Yeah.
Where's my fucking Leighton, you bastard?
Yeah. We'll get it eventually.
Next year, next year.
At least you guys are getting something. The Ace Attorney fans are just sitting here going like, maybe someday.
I wouldn't be surprised if Capcom was thinking about it.
I hope so. But so this game is very fascinating for a lot of
Yes.
ways.
Yes. I mean, did they did they have permission to use the Alone in the Dark engine?
It does look very similar. Um,
Dude, it's a fucking clone. What do you mean?
it is, but it also isn't. Like,
When I say clone, what I mean is like the camera angles, the graphic style,
oh yeah,
like
it was
everything, like that stuff is
heavily
ripped
inspired.
exactly from Alone in the Dark. It's like to the
Yes,
point where if this came out now, there would be a lawsuit because you know
yes.
how people are now with fucking IP shit now.
It,
But like it's so similar, it's crazy. Maybe they got away with it because it was Japan only.
it was Japan only, and it was different enough because the big notable thing with this game is it is actually the first survival horror game to be fully rendered in 3D.
Yes, there is no 2D art or at all. It's completely 3D.
It still uses fixed camera angles for the most part, but
Though you can change that a little bit. because you can alternate between like your third person fixed camera angle perspective, a weird overhead perspective, like early like GTA 1 and 2 style, which I only really used in one section, and then first person, which first person is like, it's a neat idea, but I don't think this game really works in the other camera angles. You just kind of have to stick to the third person.
Yeah, it's kind of like, this is almost like they took Alone in the Dark's basic concept and decided, let's actually try and expand this and make it more fleshed out.
I think they played Alone in the Dark and said, okay, what works? What doesn't work? What can we do to like make this a better experience? And I'd say they succeeded, because I'm still not a huge fan of the original Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark 2 is better,
was better, but also
for all of its like quirkiness, you know? But what I like about this game is, well, two words: no combat. They got rid of the combat entirely, because in Alone in the Dark, that is the worst aspect. By far. Sucks. And I think these guys knew that. So they're like, but what makes this work? Well, when you have the fixed camera angles and you're kind of exploring in this kind of spooky house, there are different ways of making this work. And how they do that is by focusing on more of like, the exploration and collecting items and solving puzzles and all this other kind of stuff that you do. And it relies a lot more on like atmosphere to try to give it that, but I don't think this game is scary at all. I think like any horror attempt is like just not there. You know,
I love the graphics for like the characters, but my god, the main character's face is so fucking funny at times.
He's just like raising his eyebrow and looking at the camera. Like,
you know what
he looks more like invested than scared. He's like, what's going on over here?
It's almost like early cell shading, but not quite there yet.
I don't think they had the tech for that, but I see what you're saying.
You know what it reminds me of? The graphical style, it's like a much more crude version of Fear Effect.
In a way. I could see that. Like, Fear Effect, I think, pushes that tech a lot further, but also that game came out like 6 years later.
Fear Effect is also not 3D. Fear Effect is all like streamed to like real time like footage in the background.
Yeah. Fear Effect's a very different beast entirely. Didn't that get a port recently, or like a remaster?
No, it had one that was announced, and we never heard about it.
Okay, I thought that was in the news not that long ago.
Yeah, it was announced and disappeared.
maybe they were like, oh, we're going to do a remaster. Then the people who actually own the game went, no, the fuck you're not.
I think it was more a case of they were like, we're going to do a remaster, and no one gave a fuck. And they were
it did come out.
Okay.
Came out August 29th for Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC.
How the fuck did I not
So
see
it
that?
is out.
Oh, damn. When the fuck did that?
Why am I not seeing the Steam page for this? Dude, it came out in August. There's no way. Oh, there it is. Reviews mixed.
I mean, the game had mixed reviews to begin with, so.
It's published by Limited Run.
Maybe that's
weird. They didn't make a stink about it, though. They usually do.
There was also that third game that came out, like the Fear.
Let's see. You're basically paying for an emulator running ROMs, something you could do with this gem 25 years ago. About the game itself, it's amazing, and it didn't deserve such low effort put into it. This is not even a remaster or even a port. It's literally an emulator.
So Limited Run, okay.
Yeah, so, well, Limited Run used to put a little bit more work into it than that. But if they're doing what I could just do on my own...
I'll stick to my PlayStation copy.
Well, running a PS1 ROM on a computer is not hard anymore.
No.
So yeah, kids, just go do that. Don't give limited run $10.
Back to
but no, I see what you're saying. Like actually looking at screenshots of Fear Effect, I see what you're saying.
it's got a similar look.
Because Fear Effect is like an early example of cell shading, like a very early example. And Fear Effect, well, not Fear Effect, Doctor Hauzer. I think with like the design of like the face of the guy when you get into the close-ups, it does look similar, but they were very limited in what tech they had back in '94.
Yeah, this is very much one of those games that's kind of pushing the 3D.
Yeah, I would say that. The game runs incredibly slow.
Yes, it does.
But what's crazy is the menus smooth as butter.
Oh yeah,
like when you want to go save or look through your inventory or whatever, it like catches up and it's like, oh, perfect. But then the game loads and it is chugging super hard. And I think that's down to the constant rendering of 3D graphics.
Yes,
and the 3DO wasn't really up to the task. It gets to the finish line. I did beat this one. It took me less than an hour. It's a very short game.
Sure. It's like, holy shit.
Though honestly, I think it was to the benefit of the game because it chugs so bad and there's really not that much to do. It's lacking in like any sort of interesting plot or like well-made puzzles or even like spooky atmosphere, that the fact it only lasts like 50 minutes is honestly to its benefit, because then you're in and you're out.
Yeah.
You know, and then you just go, it was all right. It was fine. But if it lasted like 4 hours, I would have been like, fuck this game. This game's trash.
I can excuse the performance just for the fact that it's what it's doing and what we know about the 3DO now. It's kind of like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And it's not unplayable.
No,
it's just rough.
No. And it helps again with there like not being any combat or not. There's nothing really that strenuous that happens until like the very end of the game.
And like Alone in the Dark, you can save anytime, anywhere.
There were a couple rooms I couldn't save in for some reason. It happened very rarely.
But for the most part, like,
yeah, you can just save wherever you want. You're fine.
It's like when you play Resident Evil, like now again, and then you go back to these games, you're like, what the fuck, Capcom? Like, why?
Though I could see why, like the big thing with this game is that like this game, along with like Sweet Home and Alone in the Dark and all that are like considered the main influences on Resident Evil. And this game, I see it. I genuinely do.
This
like
game,
the fact to think about it, just like Resident Evil 1, you're locked down to one location the entire game. And it tries to have a focus on atmosphere and collecting a bunch of random items and trying to solve little puzzles and, you know, solve this mystery of what the fuck's going on in this like little mansion, right? Like it's very similar in that way, but it doesn't have like the combat or the spookiness that I think something like Sweet Home probably did a better job of, or arguably even Alone in the Dark, because I think it has a better handle on horror, because at least it like tries to show you some scary shit. Whereas Hauzer never really does.
No, Hauzer is more impressive than it is scary.
Yeah, like Hauzer, it reminds me a little bit of The Seventh Guest.
Yeah. I did like the story that they were going for, because I played a fan translation of this.
I just played what I had. I don't think it was exactly the fan translation, but there was dialogue in English.
It's like, it's not like high art, but it is kind of fascinating. Like, just kind of like seeing where it goes, and the kind of payoff the end's kind of lame, but I thought it was okay.
Well, Bill, why don't you tell us the story of Doctor Hauzer?
I'll use the fun Wikipedia plot. The backstory of Dr. Hauzer is explained during the game's prologue, expounded through its protagonist. Set in 1952, it follows Adam Zadler, a young reporter from Boston Science Monitor newspaper. Adler has built his decade-long career around covering stories about Dr. Hauzer, an eccentric archaeologist from Boston University. Wow, this one hits close to home.
It's in your backyard.
World famous for his scientific discoveries, Hauzer suddenly vanishes from the public eye, and Adler tracks his last known location to a secluded oceanside mansion. Adler quickly learns that the house is riddled with perilous traps, locked doors, and secret passageways. Also strewn throughout the mansion are journal entries detailing recent events. Having the home built over the excavation site, Hauser and his two assistants unearth a stone lithograph relating to cherubium, biblical beings tasked by God with protecting the Garden of Eden. Yeah, it goes to. It's a '90s game. It goes there, of course. Um,
Naturally.
Hauser's devoted wife, who accompanied him, eventually died from illness while he was preoccupied with his work. Hauser's obsession with cryptic tablets steadily grew, leading to his belief that if he was able to decipher its meaning and communicate with Cherubium, they would lead him to paradise where he could partake in the tree of life and gain immortality. Hauser's increasing insanity caused him to sacrifice his assistants in the name of Cherubium, and his final diary entry implies the members of law enforcement and university faculty would also potentially fall victim to his paranoia. He was a wackadoodle.
Indeed, he is.
Um, like it's not high art, but like it's interesting enough for like early '90s horror. Um,
I mean, sure. I don't think it does a really good job of explaining all of that to you, or like,
no, not really. It's not like
yeah,
Alone in the Dark, where at least you can't you a lot of Alone in the Dark you get from reading like the journal entries and stuff.
yeah. Well, because you find books, and I was never able to read them unless I was doing it wrong.
I don't remember to be honest. I kind of forget how it worked. It would like they would like pop up and you kind of read them.
Yeah. Like it felt like all of the story was probably just in the manual, which was a very common thing at the time because they didn't really have the room for the story in the game, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. The soundtrack was okay, although the main theme sounds like the Beetlejuice theme a little bit too much.
I hear it, yeah.
Yeah, like I was listening to, like I was just kind of like, hmm. And then I watched a review on YouTube, and they also brought that up. I'm like, okay, it wasn't just me. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, that's funny.
um, it's interesting too because like the biggest complaints with this game I've seen are like the frame rate and the fact that the game's really short.
Yeah. Again, I don't think the shortness is really a problem. I think the problem is more the game just doesn't really have a good sense of direction. Like unless you
No,
have a walkthrough, I don't think you're really going to figure anything out.
yeah, it was a
But
very
what's nice is the game isn't like ridiculously difficult. So you can just kind of wander around, pick up shit, and you'd probably eventually figure it out. You know, like
yeah.
if I didn't play this with a walkthrough, it probably would have taken me maybe 2 hours to figure everything out. You know, like
S-
maybe double my length, but
Some of the death animations are pretty funny too, like the one where Adler's head gets knocked off and just like flies away.
yeah, I didn't see many of those because not a lot of that shit happened. You
I was
know, like
curious, so I just kind of started killing myself in the game. Like, what happens here? Oh, oh my.
that's fair. I did die a lot at the start because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Hmm.
You know, because I didn't understand how like how do I pull this cabinet? Like how does that work? Like I'm holding the action button, but it's not working. And then if you thankfully the game actually has a nice controls guide like in the game. And it's just like, oh, you have to push this other button and then use it to pull stuff. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense, but sure, why not?
In
Um,
Hallelujah, there is a run button.
oh
Thank goodness.
yeah. Oh yeah. Which is
None of that fucking
hilarious.
bullshit from Alone in the Dark.
Which is hilarious, I think.
Um,
Because you just right? And the only
yeah,
time you ever really need it is in it's like one of the dining rooms or whatever where you pick up something and then a bunch of like most of the floor just caves away and then you have to like platform over it. And I was just using naturally run and jump or whatever. Again, it's not super complicated. It's easy to figure that shit out, but it's so
yeah.
silly.
So, looking at reception for the game, because it was only released in Japan, we're kind of a little limited on reviews, but they're actually very all over the place.
I
Um,
could see that.
like Consoles Plus gave it an 88%, computer and video games gave it 32%. A lot of these reviews are also retrospective reviews.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Edge gave it a 7 out of 10. My favorite, Famatsu, gave it 4 reviews, a 7 out of 10, an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, and a 5 out of 10.
Well, isn't that how Famitsu works? They have like 4 different reviewers. They rate it out of 10, and then they just combined it to give the rating out of 40.
Yeah.
Like that's how that. And for some reason, they didn't bother to combine it here.
Yeah, which is just funny to me.
That is very, very weird. Hold on, let me do
Game-
that. Let me do the math in my head. You keep talking.
Yep. Game Fan gave it 268 out of 300. Like, what the fuck is that?
It got a
Game-
29 out of 40.
Yeah, that's actually not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Famitsu's known to like kind of overrate things, but whatever.
Yeah. Games Master gave it a 66 out of 100. Generation 4 gave it 80%. Next Generation a 3 out of 5, and PC Gamer US, why they reviewed it I have no idea, but a 68 out of 100.
Yeah, I don't know why. Though it was never officially released outside of Japan, it has earned critical commentary from English and French media outlets and occurred in average reception. So it I think by this time, like there were so many magazines and so much circulation in video game journalism becoming a thing that I think more and more people were learning about like what was going on in other countries. Especially at that time where Japan was such a epicenter for video games at that time. And I think people just kind of wanted to know in the West what the hell was going on in Japan. Because we'd get these games. Like imagine like you get like, you know, you're playing Dragon Warrior in like 1989 and you're like, this game is fucking old as shit. Like, this game feels like it came out in 1986. And then you do some digging and you're like, oh, this did come out in 86. They didn't bother porting it till 3 years later. And then that makes you think, well, what the hell's going on over there that we don't know about? And I know a game that was big for that was Mario 3.
Yes.
All the hype that was around that game. So I think it had become part of the culture at that point to like open up the magazines and see what the hell's going on in Japan. Like what's going to come over here from there, you know, that kind of a thing. Because that's also when it took forever for games to release across one country or another, where now it's like not a big deal at all.
The what's interesting too is, so the game never had a proper sequel, but it did have a spiritual successor of sorts, with a game called Overblood.
Overblood?
Yeah, and this is a game I've seen this game before. I've never played it, but I have seen it in like game stores. It was for PlayStation 1, published by EA, which is very interesting.
Huh.
Very much the same style, like a full 3D survival horror kind of game. I actually
oh my god, this cover's amazing.
Yeah, it's just that guy.
just a dude in green light.
Also, it's apparently a sci-fi horror game, which is interesting.
Well, when we're scraping for content after a while, we'll play this. Why not? And this game got a sequel too.
It did.
Overblood too.
But not in America. Only in Japan and Europe.
Fucking hell, man. This series. Well, apparently the Overblood didn't come out in Europe.
Yes.
People don't know. People didn't know what they were doing back then.
Akihiro Hinu was the programmer for this game as well, so there's that, I guess. So Must Play OK Stay Away. I'm a little torn on this one because I don't think it's a must play per se, but the fact that it is a functioning game, it is very interesting. Like you can, it's like that lost survival horror game that kind of like helped define the genre.
I feel like it's not as iconic as like Sweet Home.
No,
Sweet Home always gets kind of the, as far as like Japan only horror games that were a big deal. People always put that one on a pedestal. But from what I know, I've never played it. I think it's more of like an RPG.
Yeah, it's a top-down kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just a spooky RPG.
Well, because Resident Evil was directly inspired by Sweet Home and Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, well, and it was meant to be like a Sweet Home remake and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is, playing Resident Evil, like I see some Doctor Hauzer in this. I do.
Well, because it's a similar idea, like in the central location in like an old house, abandoned thing, very
Yeah.
tied off.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's fair if people wanted to say like, oh, Resident Evil was inspired by Sweet Home, Alone in the Dark, and Doctor Hauser. Like, if you wanted to use those three games to be like these were the main inspirations, I'm like, yeah, those all check out to me.
hmm,
Why not?
yeah, it's an interesting game in a lot of ways. Like it's
Yeah.
obviously it's never going to have the iconic nature of Alone in the Dark, but
No.
it was very interesting because when I did my carrier review for the Superpod Network a while back, I for a while I thought Carrier was the first full 3D survival horror game, but then all of a sudden this game popped up. I was like, oh wait a minute, it's
Somebody
older than
else
I.
did it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh right, this game that Tony brought up. I was like, interesting
How weird
because
how this shit works sometimes, you know?
yeah, it's an interesting game. Like it's because it is functioning. Like honestly, the fact that it's short actually kind of helps it. Like keeps it from being such a. It keeps it from being infuriating, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
But overall, the game itself is kind of just it exists, and for that, I'm gonna say it's a definite okay.
Yeah.
Not a stay away by any means because it is worth playing, but it's not the easiest to access if you're a physical guy. Emulation's not bad. I mean, 3D emulations come a long way, and the game is very easy to find online.
And it's not one of those games where you need to know Japanese to play it.
No, not at
So
all.
you'll be okay. Um much like Alone in the Dark, it's very historically important, and I think that
Yeah,
counts. Though I think it's better than Alone in the Dark because it's not as bullshit as that game is.
it's a more realized game.
Yeah. Um, and then, but I think Alone in the Dark 2 is better than this just because I think Alone in the Dark 2 does a better job of figuring out how to make that work. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it's more exciting, and also it has ghost pirates, which is
it's
pretty wacky in and of
and Santa
itself.
Claus.
It's a pretty wacky game. Yeah, it's hard to ignore. But Doctor Hauser, yeah, it's okay. It's a very interesting experience um to have, you
It's
know.
interesting to look at it in like a historical sense because
Yeah.
it's really it's a game that's completely been kind of forgotten by time. But then once
Yeah.
you look at it now, you're kind of like, oh, and then you see a lot of what the genre became in this game.
Yeah, exactly. So, and for that I think it's interesting, and it's only like an hour. So, if you are curious enough, just go ahead and load it up and play it. It won't take you that long to play through it if you're that curious. So, like, it's a light recommend, you know? Like, if you are that interested, sure. It's fine.
Yeah, I'd say
It
it's
does it
easy.
does its job.
Yeah, it's a very easy okay.
Yeah,
Wh-
but yeah, it's not amazing by any means. And also, we didn't talk about the ending of the game where you go down into the basement, you ride a mine cart for some reason, and then you go into a room where there's like a blue face sticking out of a wall, being like, "Where's my wife?" And then you pick up, and then you have hopefully the picture of his wife. You go through a weird maze of fireballs and get close enough to him holding the picture that you throw the picture at him, and then he's like, "Oh, there's my wife," and everything's fine.
it's not it's not quite Bionic Commando 2009, but it is
Well, his
interesting.
wife is in his arm.
I know. It,
But yeah,
that
that's like the most strenuous part is like you have to dodge the fireballs, which is a little weird,
oh
but
yeah, that part was so. I was like, yeah, okay.
yeah, but like if you're like me and you save like right before that room, you're fine. You'll be okay.
But yeah. One last thing I wanted to bring up too was this is something that you wouldn't be able to tell from playing it emulated, but because the game is so short, they actually this is both very funny but also kind of sad. They included a bunch of potential challenge run ideas in the manual that you could try out to make the game longer.
How's that?
I'd have to look them up. I know about them because I read about it. Apparently, they was just a bunch of ideas that you could do, per se, if you wanted to try the game differently. I'd have to
What?
find a printout of the manual to actually get them because I think they're all in Japanese.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't. Has anybody translated the manual? I can't imagine.
I couldn't find it for the review. That's why I don't know. But apparently, that was a thing, which is both kind of cute but also kind of sad. Ugh. But yeah, Doctor Hauser. This is one of those 3DO games that I'm always like, that's cool, it exists, but wow, it's like kind of like, huh?
I think when we get to our like updating the tier list, I think Hauser's going to be decently high.
I think so because it's like in terms of a game, it's one of the most functional 3DO games we've played so far.
Yeah, yeah. It worked just fine, and I wasn't miserable while playing it. I was actually more of kind of intrigued to see where it goes, and it didn't stick the landing or anything. But a lot of games back then didn't really stick the landing as far as like a story goes because it still was in its infancy, you know? Like when, like that famous John Carmack quote about how story in a video game is like story in a porno, right?
Yeah,
Like at this time, it kind of made sense because it's not really what people were coming to games for. And the ones that did, a lot of them just didn't really understand how writing works. I mean, yeah, you had RPGs that were doing a better job than most. But even then, some of them don't have great endings. So
no, not at all.
yeah.
But yeah, so that was this week. Did we have a game plan for next week or?
I don't think so.
Let me look at the list.
Please do.
Let's see here. Goddamn phone, open drive. God damn it, phone. 3DO games to cover. Oh, you want to do battle chess?
I don't think we can get enough out of Battle Chess for one episode.
Fair.
Hold on. Let me look at the list. I haven't looked at it in a while. Let's see. I can get rid of that guy. Let's do. Let's do. Let's do Creature Shock.
Okay. Yeah, that could be a fun one.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll plan on Creature Shock next week. And yeah, with that, I think it's time to wrap this one up. I'm talking like a crazy person because I am tired.
What the hell happened to your voice?
I don't.
Well, it's time to go.
I don't know. I
sound like
I
a
forget-
voice in a Frank Zappa album. Susie Cream Cheese, what's gotten into you?
Can I offer you some zircon and custard trees? But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on the 3DO Experience. You can find the 3DO Experience on all the podcasting platforms. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network, superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site featuring a whole bunch of different podcasts, videos, blogs, all of our awesome friends over there.
A bunch of weird fuckers doing weird fuck shit.
We're all weirdos, but we're all weirdos together.
Exactly.
Except for Aaron. He's the best.
I mean, he's a weirdo too, but
I know.
it's fine.
I know.
He's the ringmaster.
The boss man. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Bye-bye.